welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. As you see here on the screen, I do not believe Mac Jones is a future for the New England Patriots. I don't see much of Mac Jones. I don't see much areas to improve. I don't see where he can really improve that much. When he was coming out, we all said and we all agreed that, he's probably going to be the best on day one. But is he going to be the best in career-wise? Is he going to be the best in long-term? We actually said maybe due to Bill Belichick's system, due to just the aptitude, just the pedigree of the franchise. But Mac Jones is no Tom Brady. Everyone, when he came out, we all were saying, he looks just like Brady. He's just like this. He's just like that. He's not. He's not going to be anything near Brady. And I see him being a very mediocre quarterback throughout his career. So let's recap his rookie year a little bit. So he had 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 3,801 passing yards. That's not a bad year for a rookie whatsoever. It's 22 touchdowns is not bad for a rookie. 13 interceptions, it's a little much. We'd like to tone it down a little bit, but if he's going to be an aggressive quarterback, 13 interceptions is okay. But you'd like to see 30 plus touchdowns when you're throwing 12 plus interceptions. You want to see 30 plus touchdowns. 3,801 yards, you like it, but you want to see that jump up to around 4,000, at least over 4,000. So, does have some room to improve, does need to improve. But does he have it in him? Does he have, I'm not going to say he doesn't have the traits for the work ethic. He absolutely does, but does he have the ability to? His start was very rocky. His start wasn't very good. He really struggled. And he struggled to get in the system. Granted, Belichick, Patriots system is very complicated, so it was going to take a little extra week. It was going to take a little longer. And it did. It took a few extra weeks, but he had that midseason stretch. He was very good. Played very well in the midseason. Very well. He was considered, and he was the best rookie quarterback. He was playing he was the best rookie quarterback in the middle of the season, midseason. Then down the stretch in the playoff game, goodness gracious, was he bad. He was bad. He made bad reads. He struggled being right on point, or how he usually is, what he is coming out. And he had an up and down rookie year. When the run game struggled, he struggled. When the rest of the team struggled, he struggled. He's not a quarterback that's gonna lift the team. When you don't have that, it's very difficult for the rest of the team to play a very good game, especially in the playoffs, to play a perfect game, damn near perfect game. Because when you don't have a quarterback that can just change the game on a dime, that can make the difference, the rest of the team has to be perfect 95% of the time. And if it's not, you're going to struggle. And that's not a good recipe for success in the playoffs. Now, there's very, there's some exceptions. There are exceptions to everything. And there were a few exceptions in the past, but you're really relying on finding a needle in the haystack. You're really relying on a 1% chance to do it. It's 5% chance to do it. When you're in the playoffs, you have to have a quarterback that can play off script, that can make big plays. Mac Jones, I don't see him being able to do that. Granted, it's his rookie year. And all quarterbacks struggle in the rookie year. But I don't see him improving that much. I don't see it. He won't make that jump. Now, teams will get a full season worth of tape. That's another thing. Teams are going to study him. As the season went on, as they played better defenses, as they played better teams, what happened? The good teams, the good defensive teams, knew what to do. They knew what to do against Mac Jones. Weapons were lackluster. Very lackluster. Now, they're not the greatest now, but they're a bit better. So, the weapons, you had what, let's go this next slide real quick. Jacoby Myers, Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. It's not really ideal there. Bourne had a few bright moments. Aguilar and Myers had a few bright moments, but none of them are even close to being that number one wide receiver that's going to consistently make big plays from game to game, from season to season, from drive to drive. It's going to have that presence. You need a guy to have that presence. And the tight ends, Jonnu Smith was a letdown. Jonnu Smith did not have that good of a year. He was decent. He was okay. Not what they paid him, though. Hunter Henry, on the other hand, he was very good. Hunter Henry came in and he scored a lot of touchdowns. He played pretty well. And then back to the problem. So when the run game struggled, He did. Now, it wasn't very often when he struggled, but he struggled. When the run game struggled, he really had a hard time because the good teams, the good defenses know what to do. They know how to stop those things. And Mac Jones had to find a way to get off script. He had to find a way to do all these things. And when he had to, when his first, second read wasn't there, he struggled. Granted, he's rookie. Going pretty hard on him right now, but there's not much that he has to improve. I like to see him improve his arm strength, but there's only so much that you can improve arm strength. His arm strength is very limited. I see him being maybe a slightly better than Jimmy Garoppolo, if at all. I don't see any difference. I don't see much of a difference between the two, if you ask me. I don't. So we looked at his weapons, and then don't forget, Jones has one of the best coaches of all time. Bill Belichick on, 6 Super Bowls. He knows what he's doing. If you count the Super Bowls in Cleveland and New York and all that crazy stuff, then 9, whatever. Or 8. But, that system helps him so much. Having that old-style coach, that old-school coach being very good in the run game, knowing how to, and even Josh McDaniels, the mastermind left. How is he going to do with that? And a strong running game is ideal for Mac to thrive because he's not very fast. He could run a little bit. He's not very fast. His arm strength isn't anything out of this world. His ceiling is low. Arm strength limits the playbooks. His ability to throw outside the numbers consistently is, it's something you got to watch out for. It's hard to have a deep presence. It's hard to have a deep ball game when you can't consistently pull it off. So, and how reliant is he in the system? Mac Jones, man, he's just not the future. If you want to make it to the Super Bowl, and Bill Belichick knows this, if you want to make it to the Super Bowl, you have to have a guy who can make the biggest plays in the biggest moments. Not just the biggest plays in the midseason. You need big plays throughout the entire season, the beginning, the middle, and the end, in the playoffs. You can't just have them against, in the middle of the season. You just can't. You have to stay consistent. You have to figure that out. You have to figure out how to evolve. And how much is Mac Jones going to evolve? Not much. And teams are going to figure it out pretty quick. Teams are just going to plug the run and make Mac Jones beat them. Now, Mac Jones, I'm not just trying to absolutely obliterate him, but I'm just trying to get a point across that he's not anything special. He's not going to get the Patriots to where they want to be. Now, if he does, I'm the first one you come back to and say, told you so, you're so wrong, whatever. But I don't see it. I don't see Mac Jones being able to get this Patriots team past the wild card this year. Even the playoffs, with how competitive the AFC is, I don't see them winning the division. I don't see them being better than Dolphins. I'd take Tua over Mac Jones, maybe. Especially with the weapons Tua has. I'd take Tua because of that reason. Tua has the weapons. And Tua has shown a lot of... He has a much higher ceiling. Much higher ceiling. And Tua has a lot better weapons. He's a good system as well. But Mac Jones is very smart. At the end of the day, he's a very smart quarterback. And great anticipation, even though he doesn't have the greatest arm in the world. Some of the greatest quarterbacks don't have the greatest arm in the world. But Mac Jones just doesn't have it what you want from a starting quarterback, what you want from a quarterback that's going to consistently bring you to the playoffs and play consistently well in the playoffs against the best of the best. He's not capable. You need a better team around him. They lost a lot last offseason. They lost a lot. This team's looking very different. And that's a big factor as well. So, you guys let me know what you think. If you think Mac Jones is really the answer or if he's not. Me? No. I don't see it. I don't see him being the long term. I don't see him being the franchise quarterback. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think he's a very good bridge quarterback to maybe another very talented quarterback. I think he's a very good backup. Starter, he's not going to be a starter in this league long term. He's not going to. He's not. So, you guys let me know what you think. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to